How do we redirect ourselves from a situation that is causing us anxiety? Well, there's two possible situations. One, of course, is a situation where we literally can physically remove ourselves from the, and that would be a good thing to do. So I went out with some friends of mine to a dinner. I thought it was just dinner. It turned into an alcohol fest. Now everybody at the table is drunk. I'm not a drinker. They're starting to get very vulgar. I'm feeling very anxious and uncomfortable. I'm no longer enjoying myself in this moment. They're talking about leaving and getting into cars and going for thrill rides. Okay, now it's getting dangerous. Best thing, physically remove myself from the situation. But in many, many cases, the situation that we're in is one that, for many reasons, we can't or we shouldn't remove ourselves from. Because the last thing we want to do is be so fragile that there's this very limited number of situations that we feel comfortable with. Jack Kornfield, who's a very famous and brilliant meditation teacher and writer and speaker, I'll paraphrase him, but he talks a lot about meditation and the meditative state. And he says, you know, many of us, when we've had a deep experience of peace, of the divine, and then we come back to the quote-unquote real world, we try to create these sort of cocoons around us of what we need in order to maintain our peace. So I can't see you, I can't do this, I don't do the grocery shopping, you've got to take care of this, because to do any of these things, or to see any of these people, or to go to any of these places, ruins my peace. I'm really connected to God until I see my parents. I'm really connected to God until my boss yells at me. I'm really connected to God until I'm stuck in traffic. Well, that's not an ideal situation. Ideally, what we want is to have the maximum number of situations in which we can experience peace. And again, it doesn't mean every situation. There are some situations like the one I described where it's perfectly fine to say, okay, everyone, hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. It's time for me to go home, and we excuse ourselves. But mostly, these are situations that arise in our families, in our workplaces, in a world that we live in, and that we don't want to escape from, that we're not looking to run into a cave. And the answer then, of course, is to change who we are on the inside. The anxiety is produced because I have adopted or internalized what someone else said or did as what it means about me. I made a joke, no one laughed, it means I'm stupid. I said something that was serious, everyone did laugh, it means I'm stupid. See, all they've done is laugh or not laugh. I'm the one who's told myself the story. I'm the one who's internalized the situation about me. And this is where we talked earlier about being self-evident. The way to be in that situation is to just tune back into the self. The minute anxiety starts to arise, to ask ourselves, what am I telling myself in this situation? How am I interpreting what this person says? And sometimes they say it very straightly. You are stupid. Okay. Doesn't take a lot to misinterpret that. They meant it. And yet, that's their truth, not ours. And it's very important to remember, as I said earlier, that people who make us feel bad, just to make us feel bad, not parents or teachers or loved ones who are actually trying to help us along the way, not people who sit us down and say, I think you've got an issue with your ego, or I think you have an issue with anger, or I think, these issues are there. Not those people who are trying to help us, but people who are just trying to make us feel bad so they feel better, are people who themselves are miserable. And this is as true in 6th grade as it is in boardrooms across the world and yoga studios across the world and parties and gyms across the world. And so if I'm in a situation where I'm feeling anxiety, what I need to do is check in with myself. Is the truth really my truth? Is what I'm feeling in this environment really who I am? Or is it just that these people or this person is using me to feel better about themselves? It's like that great story of the teacher who says to his classroom, he draws a line on the board, and he says, okay, without using an eraser, can anyone make this line on the board shorter? And of course no one can. The only way to make the line shorter is to erase part of it. But then the teacher says, no. One way to make the line shorter, and he draws a longer line on top of it. Okay, so the lower line hasn't actually changed, but now in comparison to the longer one, it seems short. And this is sadly what happens to us. We are who we are, but we judge ourselves based on those around us. And this is where I keep coming back to we have to be self-evident. And this is where our meditation is so important, because it gives us the truth of who we are. Otherwise, I am who you say I am. I am how you look at me. I am whether you laugh at my jokes or touch my feet, or give me an A or give me a gold star. That becomes who I am. So whenever we're in situations that make us feel anxious, immediately we need to reconnect with ourselves, reconnect with our breath. Deep, low in the abdomen, just ground ourselves back in our truth. And then, this is the last but crucial other component. See whether we can feel within ourselves compassion for that person in front of us. And an awareness that the reason they are making us feel bad, the reason they are trying to make us feel love, is because they feel love. This is why bullies in school, how many parents have ever told their kids who are being bullied, sweetheart, it's not you, it's because he's upset or his parents are going through a divorce or whatever the story is. And this is true even when we get out of the schoolyard. People who bully others, physically, emotionally, mentally, in any way, do it because they themselves feel bad. So we check in with who we are, we connect with the divine in ourselves, and then we try to experience some compassion for whoever it is that's making us feel bad. And the only other point to reiterate again is that this isn't true when we're talking about a loved one who really cares for us, a spouse, a parent, a teacher, whatever, who really cares for us and who says to us, I think you need to stop drinking. Or or I think you've got problems with your anger, or I think you have problems with this, or whatever it is. That also sometimes produces some anxiety. Because the status quo is very safe. And very few of us want to look at ourselves. And so the first thing that we do, even when it is a loved one, a parent, a spouse, whoever, the first thing we do is we lash out at that person. It's just you. But at times like that, it's very important to really check in and ask ourselves whether our anxiety is because we don't want to hear what they're saying, even though it is true. At which point what we need to do is listen. Or our anxiety is just because they, in their own misery, are bullying and criticizing us. But those answers are within. And so it just takes us back to that experience of being self-evident.